What's up, friends? Welcome to the What is Truth podcast, a rare Sunday edition and a rare, even rare appearance on YouTube. Hope everyone's doing great. Thank you, everyone that has made it out. I know there was no notice, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do a show or not. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm going to talk to Marcus Aurelius, and then in the second half of the show, I'm going to open up the StreamYard if anyone wants to call in, and then you can talk about anything. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to end the stream on YouTube because people tend to hit subjects that YouTube does not approve of, and we all know YouTube loves to ding you and censor you in every which way. So if you will catch the replay on YouTube and it ends, please visit the Rumble, Spotify, or Odyssey to catch the rest of the video. As I was saying, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news cycle. And there's a lot of stuff going on in my personal life as well. And that's why the shows have been somewhat sporadic. And it's been rough. It's been rough. If you've been following me for a while, you already know what's up. And if you are a new listener, we had a clip that went viral this last week. It was on the show that I did with 7Cs, and it got 1 million views on Facebook. Of all places, Facebook. So there very well could be some new folks tuning in because of that. So for you newer folks, most of the topics I cover are conspiracy related, but I talk a lot about different subjects as well. Do philosophy. I am a Lincoln assassination researcher. Some of my favorite topics are 9/11, moon landings, and so on and so forth. So it's a varied show. And welcome to all the new listeners. And I want to thank and welcome all the longtime listeners. You guys have helped me. It's always a treat to see some faces that I hadn't seen in a while. See Miss Squirrel in there. What's up, Talmud Terry? And of course, my lovely Miss T. And Miss Cajones. Cajones. I'm not sure. Welcome to the stream. Anyways, it's a varied show. And today's show, I want to, like I said at the top, I want to talk about Marcus Aurelius, known as the Philosopher King. Some of you may have heard a little bit about him. Some of you probably don't know much about him. Some of you may only have known him from Gladiator. In the Gladiator movie with Russell Crowe, the emperor, the Roman emperor in that movie is Marcus Aurelius. And so maybe some of you, that's as much as you know. I first came in contact with Marcus Aurelius meditations, I want to say a couple years ago, maybe. And the version that I listened to, it's an audiobook you can find on YouTube. I have the link in the description. It's Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, the complete 12 books on Stoicism in today's language, basically in modern terms. And I'm going to play a few clips during the show of certain quotes that I really enjoyed from Marcus Aurelius books. Apparently, he wrote the book. It was more or less like a journal, a personal journal. And in this book, these 12 meditations, he's writing to himself on how to be a better person. And if you've been following me for a long time, for a while, you know that I'm highly skeptical of the government. I don't trust anything they say or do. I take everything I hear from them with a grain of sand. And any elites, it doesn't matter if it's Bill Clinton or Donald Trump, I do not view any of them favorably. And so, again, if you are new to my show, I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I'm none of the above. I criticize where it needs to be, and I praise when it needs to be, which is very rare. And I don't take sides. That's my policy. So if that triggers you, either way, thanks for stopping by. But I haven't, I've been like this since I started the show, and I ain't going to change for anyone. Um, but not to get off track, back to Marcus Aurelius. He, when you hear about Marcus Aurelius, when you start getting into that rabbit hole, you hear tons and tons of positive things about him. And you'll even hear some people say that maybe Marcus Aurelius was the only one in history, the only elite in history to actually be humble and nice and live differently than what we see in today's world when you have your Prince Andrews hanging out with Epstein, Donald Trump's ex-prime minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, Bill Clinton, celebrities, scientists, all these powerful people hanging out with Jeff Epstein. And power corrupts. That's a phrase we often hear. And so you'll hear a lot of times a lot of people say that Marcus Aurelius was different. And I'm not going to try to taint the legacy of Marcus Aurelius too much. But you have to remember, we're all humans. We all have flaws. Some of us greater than others. And I've learned quite a bit from Marcus Aurelius. I listen to that translation that I have on the description of the link. I listen to it quite regularly, especially during these times that I'm going through, with tribulation. I am going through a divorce. And so I can't talk about it too much because I don't want anything to be used against me. And anyone that's gone through it, it's rough. It can feel overwhelming. It can feel lonely. And it's important to have people around you, at least for me. And sorry about that. It's just these these meditations have helped me quite a bit. Uh, Try to stay on track. Try to stay focused. And I've learned quite a bit. So I felt if anyone's going through similar situations, whatever it may be, everyone has their shit, man. And we can all learn from each other. And so, again, I normally cover different subjects, and today's subject is way, way different. But it's really, for me, and anyone that may need it. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go over some Marcus Aurelius and learn a little bit about the man. Yeah, it's rough, so I apologize. uh it's real tough right now. All right. So let's see. Let's get some Wikipedia information. I don't trust Wikipedia much, but it comes useful every now and then. Marcus Aurelius is allegedly born on the 26th of April in the year 121 AD. And he died in 180 AD. And let's see. He was the last rulers later known as the Five Good Emperors and the last emperor of the Pax Romana. An age of relative peace, calm, and stability for the Roman Empire lasting from 27 BC to 180 AD. So right when he dies, the Pax Romana is said to have ended. He served as Roman consul from 140 to 145 and 161. Marcus Aurelius was the son of Praetor Marcus Annius Verus and his wife Domitia Calvilla. He was related through marriage to the emperors Trajan and Hadrian. Marcus was 3 when his father died and was raised by his mother and paternal grandfather. After Hadrian's adoptive son, Aelius Caesar, died in 138, Hadrian adopted Marcus's uncle Antoninus Pius as his new heir. In turn, Antoninus adopted Marcus and Lucius, the son of Aelius. Hadrian died that year, and Antoninus became emperor. Now heir to the throne, Marcus studied Greek and Latin under tutors such as Herodotus, Atticus, and Marcus Cornelius Fronto. Sorry about that. He married Antoninus' daughter, Faustina, in 145. After Antoninus died in 161, Marcus acceded to the throne alongside his adoptive brother, who took the regnal name Lucius Aurelius Verus. Under the reign of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman Empire witnessed much military conflict. There you go. This is one of the things that gets glossed over quite a bit when people talk about Marcus Aurelius. And again, this isn't to completely shit on him. I did name the show Meditations and Massacres for sure. And so this isn't, again, to destroy him. I love listening to meditations. I listen to it regularly. It's helped me quite a bit. But we also can't gloss over and sugarcoat everything. You know, you have to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so this is one of those aspects to Marcus Aurelius that rarely gets mentioned, if at all. You know, everyone likes to make him out as to be some kind of god, just amazing and flawless. And we have to be reminded he too was a human. He too was a man. So let's see. Again, the Roman Empire witnessed much military conflict. In the east, the Romans fought the Parthian War of Lucius Verus with a revitalized Parthian Empire and the rebel kingdom of Armenia. Marcus defeated the Marcomanni Quadi, the Sarmatian. I can't say that. You can read it on and on and on. Again, this isn't a complete autobiography on Marcus Aurelius. I want to focus on the Meditations works, which I am very familiar with. I am no scholar, and maybe down the road I will get an actual scholar on Marcus Aurelius and do another show, another follow-up. Again, this was really just because of all the shit that I'm going through, and I hope maybe some people can get help out of this. You know what I'm saying? All right. The other thing that doesn't really get mentioned about Marcus Aurelius is how Christians were treated under his reign. This kind of gets glossed over. I'm not a Christian. I am a person of zero faith. But this doesn't mean I have to dismiss, this part, even though I like Marcus Aurelius. This is one of those black spots in his legacy. And the show is called What is Truth? So you can't just cherry pick and sugarcoat. You gotta talk about it all, the good, bad, and ugly, as I said earlier. All right. Attitude towards Christians. In the first 2 centuries of the Christian era, local Roman officials were largely responsible for the persecution of Christians. In the 2nd century, the emperors treated Christianity as a local problem to be dealt with by their subordinates. The number and severity of persecutions of Christians in various locations of the empire seemingly increased during the reign of Marcus Aurelius. The extent to which the emperor himself directed, encouraged, or was aware of these persecutions is unclear and much debated by historians. Marcus Aurelius mentions Christians only once in his personal writings, the Meditations. In Book 11:3, he criticizes what he perceives as their theatrical approach to martyrdom, writing that readiness for death must spring from a man's inner judgment and not be the result of mere opposition, as in the case with Christians. It must be associated with deliberation and dignity. And if others too are to be convinced, with nothing like stage heroics. That's interesting. A letter purportedly from Marcus Aurelius to the Roman Senate, included in Justin Martyr's first apology, describes a battlefield incident where Marcus allegedly credited Christian prayer with saving his army when water poured from heaven, and subsequently requested that the Senate cease persecution of Christians. However, modern scholars widely consider this letter to be inauthentic, likely composed by Justin Martyr or another Christian author rather than by Marcus Aurelius himself. Contemporary non-Christian sources, including the historian Cassiodeo, attribute the same rain miracle to an Egyptian magician named Harnufis, who accompanied the Roman legions. So, where the hell am I? Yeah, there's a little bit of a Marcus Aurelius, and I want to now get into basically some of his dark spots. Like I mentioned, the persecution of Christians is one of them. Also, the military brutality. He was against Germanic tribes. Let's see. His wars against Germanic tribes were long and bloody. Roman sources gloss over atrocities, but they certainly occurred. So there was a lot of stuff. Same thing with his taxes. Under his economy, he really favored military. And so how do you fund your military? Through taxation. Let's see. Also during his reign, the Antonine plague spread, and where apparently millions were killed. And some people criticize his handling of that plague. Although, how the hell can a freaking emperor control what a plague is going to do? You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's a valid one. And then there's his son, Commodus. Some people say that that is his greatest failing. Some historians argue that he was grooming Commodus as his successor. Commodus was infamous for cruelty and decadence, undoing much of Marcus's legacy. And so some people wonder, did Marcus cling to family loyalty over reason in this situation? And then there's also the philosophical contradictions. His writings and meditations emphasize humility, patience, and not fearing death. Yet as emperor, he presided over wars, executions, and authoritarian acts. So he's widely held as the Stoic, the father of Stoicism. And for people that are not familiar with Stoicism is basically, I guess, to put it in a nutshell, is like porch philosophy. So this was around his time, and he came later, obviously, but it was like philosophers just philosophizing about life, how to go about things and whatnot. And a lot of people will call Marcus Aurelius as the greatest Stoicist. And I've been listening to a lot of the Stoicist philosophical arguments and ideals and whatnot, and makes a lot of sense. And there are people that will look at Marcus Aurelius and say, how much of an actual stoicist was he really? And I've heard the comparison that, think about it, you'll see a lot of athletes on TV doing the sign of the cross, doing this and that. And then after the show, they're out in strip clubs and everything. So how much of these people that call themselves Christians are really Christians? They probably don't even haven't read the Bible all that well. And so some people wonder if Marcus Aurelius was kind of just a stoic by name, and maybe he really wasn't practicing. So all these things are debatable. And what we got to remember is this was 2,000 years ago. There's no freaking way to really know how he really was. Was he really this saintly figure that most people make him out to be? Or was he just a flawed man that tried to live by these ideals? I think that's more realistic. When I look at it, I also don't ascribe to the party that he was just pure evil. You don't write these books if he did indeed write these meditations himself. You don't really write these, in my opinion, if you are perfect already, if you're living these ideals. You're writing them because you want to remind yourself of your own flaws. And I'm going to play some of his quotes. You write these things so that you can self-improve. It's been a few years for me in this journey of self-improvement. And when I do a lot of reflecting, especially when I was younger, I think a lot of it is nurture and nature. And I've done things that I'm not proud of today. I'm ashamed of. I made mistakes. I've been an asshole. Some people may argue I'm still an asshole, and I can be for sure. But over the last few years, I have genuinely tried to become a better person. That's one of the reasons why I named the show "What Is Truth." Because I genuinely am in that quest, and I am continually humbled when I see people leave comments. The ones that really hit me, there's people that had left me comments say, look, man, I don't agree with 99% of the things you say, but I listened because I feel you come from a genuine place. And those are the comments that really hit me, resonate, because we're not always going to agree with each other. We're not always going to see eye to eye. And how we deal with that is what makes the situation good or bad. And when I first started the show, one of the things that I tried to one of the messages when I first started the show, when I had 2 listeners, 3 listeners, and now I have a few thousand, and I am beyond humbled by that. One of the things I wanted to do was create a community that was in search of truth. And in this community, we would be tolerant of different views. That doesn't mean we have to agree with different views. Hell no. I love a good debate, but being tolerant. And that's one of the things that's lacking today is people getting crazy over minutia of differences in opinion, no less. And people in the world seems like it's going crazy, man. And so going back to Marcus Aurelius' meditations, there's a lot to learn, a lot to glean from. I just covered some of the negative aspects of him because, like I said, if you start getting into it, you won't hear too many of the negative aspects of Marcus Aurelius. They're just gonna sugarcoat him. But it's good to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And let's get in there. And then as we go through it, I'll break down some of the thoughts that I have. And if you're just tuning in, I'm going to open up the StreamYard. If you want to talk more about Marcus Aurelius, I made that call out on Twitter, but no one responded to me. So it's either people don't want to do it or they don't know much about the subject. So I get that too. And we could talk about whatever you want. Let's see. Okay. Let me share screen. All right. This is part 2, or this is the beginning of book 2 from Meditations. In this version that you see on the screen, it's by Legendary Lore is the YouTube channel, and the episode is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, the complete 12 books on Stoicism. And of all the versions that I've listened to, as far as the audiobook version anyways, this one is the one that I really, really enjoy because it's like in today's language. You know what I'm saying? I've listened to some and it's like in Shakespearean English, which is so stupid because see, I've got the book in book format, and this one is in Shakespearean English too. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, thouest do this and thy, like, dude, just give it to me in something I can understand, man. Don't give me that Shakespearean bullshit. And so this version that I'm going to play for you, he speaks in today's language, and I fully understand it. Some of you have seen my intro music where it says the universe has its rhythm and I'm vibing with it. That's where I got it from, right here. When I podcasted with James Corbett, he he asked me, "Hey, is that a real Marcus Aurelius quote?" And I go, "Hell yeah, it is." He was kind of incredulous, but it's only because it's the modern version. So, all right, let's play a little taste.
Start your day expecting to bump into some difficult folks. The gossips, the thankless, the cocky, the two-faced, the jealous, the antisocial. They act this way because they don't really get what's good and what's not. But me, I've seen what's truly good and what's bad. And I realize that even the ones who mess up are kind of like me. We're all connected, not just by family, but by being part of this universe, sharing its energy. They can't bring me down because I won't let their negativity stick. Why would I get mad or hate them? We're all in this together, like feet, hands, eyes, or teeth working in sync. Getting mad at each other? That's just unnatural. So what am I? A bit of meat, some breath, and my consciousness. Enough with the endless reading and distractions. Act like time's running out. That flesh is just a mix of blood, bones, and tissues. That breath, just air in and out. And that conscious part, remember, you're not young anymore. Don't let it be controlled by every whim. Don't whine about the now or fear what's next.
Look, how beautiful is that? The other thing that Marcus Aurelius does throughout these meditations is he's constantly breaking down shit to its core. You know, you see that fancy feast that people are enjoying. The meat is just a dead pig. The wine is just grapes that's been stepped on by feet. He's basically telling you, put everything in its rawest form, man. You can't take it too crazy. Break it down to simpler terms. And there's so many. I strongly encourage everyone to listen to this. Let me go to timestamp 1330.
Step into Wix.
Oh, you fucking commercial. Sorry.
But anger or aim to hurt someone, you're doing your soul no favors. Whether it's a century or an eternity, the experience feels the same. You can't lose your past or future since you never really owned them. So 2 takeaways here. Life's patterns repeat themselves endlessly, and whether you live long or short, you only have the present. Get this, everything is about perspective. Monimus the Cynic had a point about that. Understanding this means grasping the truth within it. Your mind can do some self-harm in several ways. 1. Feeling bitter about the universe's events separates you from the grand scheme of things. 2. If you harbor anger or aim to hurt someone, you're doing your soul no favors. 3. Letting pleasure or pain control you, not a great move. 4. Being fake, acting without sincerity. That's damaging. 5. Doing things without a clear goal, even the tiny stuff, isn't the best. We should always be purposeful, as our goal as thinking beings is to live rationally. Life's fleeting. Your time on earth is but a speck. The physical world, always changing. Our perception, often not sharp. Our bodies, they don't last forever. Our souls, they're like storms, always shifting. Predicting life, almost impossible. And fame, super unpredictable. Summing it up, everything physical flows and changes. The soul's experiences are fleeting dreams. Life is a challenge, a brief stopover, and what comes after is quickly forgotten. What can guide us? Just one thing, philosophy.
So that's pretty deep. Here are writings from someone that lived 2,000 years ago. And one of the themes throughout meditations is like, you got to live today like you won't be alive tomorrow. Meaning, that doesn't mean like going crazy and doing stupid shit. No, leaving a good legacy, man. He talks about, think about all those great heroes from the past, like ancient Romans before his time. He goes, a lot of people have forgotten about them already. So this whole quest to make a name for yourself, to be something big and grand, life is fleeting. Why focus so much of your energy on shit like that? That's just, tomorrow could be different. You could be dead tomorrow. January is going to be 2 years that I lost my mom. Think about her every day. But it's been 2 years, and my dad's alone, going through Alzheimer's. All those people that were there at my mom's funeral, the church was crowded. I went to visit my dad a couple weeks ago. Where are those fucking people that was crying when my mom was dying and said, we're telling my dad, anything you need, we'll help you. A lot of those motherfuckers ain't around now. And so it just goes to show. My mom was a larger than life figure when she was around. She's been gone 2 years, and now no one gives a shit about my dad. No one wants to pay him a visit and talk to him. And I could focus on that, how hypocritical and dickheads people are. Or I can just say, people are people. Not let that get to me. Even though it does, because I'm a human. But what Marcus tells us in meditations is like, things have power as much as you allow them to have power. People could call you the craziest shit, the craziest names. And those names, those words, will only affect you, will only hurt you if you give it that power for it to hurt you and sting. Or you could say, I don't give a fuck. And that's one of those qualities that I've learned to do, especially being a creator. Every now and then you'll have some knucklehead talking shit, and it just slides off me. I sincerely don't care. I'm not going to let it affect me. Now, when people say positive and leave good shit, good vibes, I love it. I praise it. But even Marcus Aurelius tells us in Meditations, even the good and the bad, don't put too much value into it. Life is fleeting. You know what I'm saying? Work on shit that you have control over. Don't be worrying about shit that you have zero control over. There's no need for it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Next one.
It can be tomorrow's
After 3 years of therapy.
Oh my God. Sorry. Trying not to play no goddamn commercials, man. Screw YouTube. Sorry. If you follow me on YouTube, only on YouTube, I would highly recommend following me on my alternate platforms because I rarely post here.
To your values and trust the process. Live in the moment. Don't act like you've got endless time. Death's always lurking around the corner. So, while you're here, be the best you can be. Here's a life hack. Stop worrying about what others are doing or saying. Focus on yourself, your actions, and your journey. Stay true to your path and don't get sidetracked by the drama around you. Obsessing over being remembered after you're gone? Think about it. Everyone who remembers you will also pass away. And then the next generation and the next, until no one's left to remember. And even if, somehow, your memory lasted forever, would it truly matter to you? Focus on what's real now instead of chasing immaterial praises.
Bam, bro. That is deep. Live right now. Don't worry about what this person thinks about you or this and that, because you could be as famous as you want, well known, and then life is fleeting. People forget about you. People don't know shit about you. You can go to many, many historical, quote unquote, events, and you may only remember one or two figures, but if it's a historical event, you have to imagine there were thousands of people involved in these events, and no one knows shit about them. They're just blips, if that, on Wikipedia. So why the hell do you always, not you, but we always worry about stupid shit that's immaterial, that is unimportant? And maybe some people are listening and like, oh, that's just common sense. Maybe for you, but to hear it, when I hear these words from Marcus Aurelius, I take myself back 2,000 years. Here's a guy who was king, who was emperor of Rome, had all the power, had all the money. And I already pointed out his negativity, so, you know, the bad stuff about him. 100%. I already covered that. So I don't want to focus too much time into it. But let's just put ourselves in that mindset of a man 2,000 years ago writing these things that was not meant for public consumption. It was meant for himself. And he's constantly reminding himself to be humble. Don't let little shit get to you, man. Focus on the bigger things, the more important things in life. If negative criticisms are being hurled at you, let that bitch roll off your back and keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Next one, 3130.
Replacing old moments with new ones. Everything we experience, be it roses in spring, fruits in summer, or even challenges like illness and betrayals, is just part of the grand tapestry of life. It's not a random mess, but a beautifully intricate design where everything interconnects in an almost magical sequence. Imagine the universe as a harmonious entity. All events, people, and elements work in tandem, much like threads weaving together into a fabric. This worldview helps us see our place. We're conscious beings navigating the world in our temporary bodies, as Epictetus wisely put it. Embrace change, for it's neither bad nor good, just a natural progression. And as we experience life's transitions, let's not forget Heraclitus's insight. Everything undergoes transformation. Earth becomes water, water turns to air, and air ignites into fire, only to circle back again. In this vast interconnected cycle, it's surprising how we often get bogged down by the mundane or forget the grander scheme. Live consciously, not just following old patterns or mimicking what you've been taught. And if faced with the existential question of life's duration, whether it's years or just one more day, embrace it. After all, what truly matters is the depth and richness of the journey, not its length. Think about how many doctors have passed away after fretting over their patients, or those astrologers who made big claims predicting others' deaths. How about philosophers debating life and death, or warriors and dictators acting as if they'd live forever? Remember cities like Pompeii, wiped out in a blink. Consider the countless people you've known who've passed on. Life's fleeting. Everyone's time comes, and when it does, it's as natural as an olive falling from a tree when ripe. So live your life naturally, and when it's time to go, be at peace, appreciating the journey. Be resilient. Be like that cliff against which waves crash but stand strong, turning the raging waters calm. Bad stuff happens, but instead of thinking, why me? Think, how can I handle this gracefully? Just because something's tough doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Whatever life throws at you, don't let it mess with your virtues or peace of mind. Challenges aren't curses. Handling them well can be a blessing. Thinking about death, look at those who clung to life. What did they really gain over those who passed early? At the end of the day, they too found their resting place. Life's just a brief moment between birth and death, filled with its ups and downs. So why overvalue it, especially when you look at the vast expanse of time that's come before and the endless time that lies ahead? What's the difference between living a few days or a few decades in this grand scheme? Always take the straightforward path, the one aligned with reason. It's the surest way to a hassle-free life, free of drama and pretense.
More deep stuff by Marcus Aurelius right there. Hope you guys are enjoying that. And again, link is in the description for this audiobook version of it. It's I don't know, it's helped me quite a bit, and I hope it does the same for anyone listening as well. Let's see.
And all the experiences that have shaped you. Recall the beauty you've witnessed, the challenges you shrugged off, the values you held on to, and the kindness you've shown, even to those who didn't return the favor. Lastly, why let the uninformed opinions of others shake someone who knows better? True understanding is recognizing the patterns, the start and end, the logic that runs through everything and drives the universe in its eternal dance. Soon we'll all be dust or bones in our names. Just a whisper, if that. The stuff people stress about, it's all pointless drama. It's like watching puppies play fight or kids laugh one moment and cry the next. But where's the loyalty, humility, fairness, and honesty? Seems like they've checked out.
Damn, man. So again, that's one of the recurring themes that you see through meditations, Marcus Aurelius meditations. It's like, quit worrying about the stupid shit, the unimportant stuff. We assign value to things, and if we are assigning high values to shit that is, in the bigger scheme of things, unimportant, that does us no good. It doesn't help our growth. And so that's one of the things that I'm going through right now. I feel I'm real fucking low, dude. This is one of the lowest points that I've gone through. And one of the ways that has helped me, I've had some help. My little baby sister, I love her to death. She's been instrumental during this time. I've got someone else super close to me that has helped me. Those two people have helped me tremendously during this, what I feel is the lowest point in my life right now. And I want to thank too, there's been a lot of people that have reached out to me, that have sent me messages, and I haven't responded. I've maybe put a thumbs up or a little heart on your comments. Some people have left comments. I've seen them. And don't take my non-response in a negative way. I don't feel like talking to anyone. You know, I've got two people that I love and care about that have been instrumental to me. And that's all I need at this point. It's not to shit on anyone else. It's just, that's my comfort. That's where I'm comfortable at. But as I'm going through these rough episodes lately, when I get these thoughts, man, that want to consume me, because that's the thing. I did a show on The Self with John Brissom. And my mind, maybe the reason I get these different views, these different takes, it's because my mind operates different than a lot of people. That's why some people may think, whoa, that's a weird take. That's a weird different. My mind is always thinking, which is good. But it can also be a curse because I start to overthink a lot of shit. And listening to these words by Marcus Aurelius, it makes me stop. And I go, I got to take a step back. I'm thinking about this shit too much, and it's fucking bothering me. It's irritating me. It's driving me fucking banana, man. It's making me have panic attacks. And I need to cut it out. And like Marcus Aurelius says, you got to learn to tune out the noise. Focus on the shit that's important. And for me right now, it's my loved ones. For me right now is reminding myself that even though I'm going through some rough times right now, life is cyclical. So I'm at this low point. Sooner or later, this bitch is gonna finish and I'm gonna be high up again. And it's gonna be better times. That's what keeps me going. That's my reminder when I'm feeling really down, really depressed, that time is fleeting. Everyone goes through shit, man. And as bad as I have it, I have to remind myself that there's someone in the world somewhere having a hell of a worse time than I am right now. So I got to be thankful for what I have and who I have around me. You know what I mean? Some people have no one, literally no one. Some people, as we speak right now, one of the things that reminds me that I got to tune out the noise and focus on the shit that's important. When I start feeling bad for myself, I was like, right now as I'm speaking, there's kids living in landfills, picking through trash in third world countries, trying to find something good to eat. Otherwise, they'll starve. And here I'm worrying about this shit or that shit. And sometimes I have to remind myself of that perspective. And I'm like, you're being a bitch right now, dude. Fucking man up. Let's go. And yeah. Everything is cyclical. Remember that. No matter what you may be going through, maybe you're going through similar situations. Shit's gonna turn around at some point. You just gotta keep at it. Let's see.
Consciousness and memories, they fade in time. For those who think and reason, actions align with both nature and logic. Stand tall or be picked up. Think of all of us as individual parts of one big puzzle. If you often remind yourself that you're a piece of the grand human puzzle, you'll see the bigger picture. But if you're just out for yourself, you're not fully embracing humanity. Helping others shouldn't just be about ticking a box. It should feel like you're helping a part of yourself. Stuff happens. Let the external bits of you deal with the external blows. The inner you, your soul, remains unharmed unless you let negative thoughts creep in. No matter what goes on around you, stay true to yourself. It's like gold staying gold no matter what you do to it. Your core self isn't easily shaken unless you shake it. It doesn't overthink, scare itself, or dwell on pain. If others stress or hurt it, that's on them. Your soul remains solid and steady, unfazed by external drama unless you let it.
Actors, we can make you believe.
You mother effer. God damn it. This is why I hate YouTube, dude. Sorry about that. I've been trying to get rid of those stupid ads whenever they come up.
It's like having a guardian angel. Daydreams. You're not needed here. I know you're just doing your thing, but please step back. I've got this. Worried about change, dude. Nothing happens without it. It's natural and necessary. I mean, can you cook without changing ingredients? Can you grow without changing yourself? Embracing change is just rolling with the universe's vibe. Life flows through the universe, connecting everything. Remember, even the great thinkers like Socrates or Epictetus were eventually forgotten by time. It's natural. What bugs me? Doing something that's not in sync with my true self at the wrong time or in the wrong way. In the end, we all forget and get forgotten, just how it is.
Damn. There you go. More wisdom bombs by the great Marcus Aurelius. Let's see. What was the other one?
Getting out of your comfort zone. Think about what state you want to be in when it's your time to go. Reflect on how short life is, the vastness of time, and how fragile everything is. Strip things down to their essence. Understand why stuff happens, what makes us happy or sad, what death means, and what fame really is. Realize it's all in your head. When it comes to living by your beliefs, be like that versatile fighter who uses their whole body, not like that gladiator who drops his weapon and gets defeated. Get to the core of things. Split them up into what they're made of, how they look, and why they exist. Realize the power we have. We can choose to do things that align with the universe and accept whatever comes our way. And don't blame anyone for anything. No one's messing up on purpose. Don't be that guy who's shocked by the everyday stuff. Life's unpredictable. Roll with it. So We've got three options. Either everything's predestined, there's some higher power looking out for us, or it's all just chaos. If it's all set in stone, why fight it? If there's some higher power, then work on being someone that power would want to help. If it's just chaos, well, at least you've got your own sense of direction. And if life throws you into a storm, let it take everything but your core beliefs. Look, if a lamp can shine brightly till its last moment, why can't your truth, fairness, and self-control do the same till you check out? Before judging someone who seems to have messed up, think, do I really know the full story? Even if they did mess up, who's to say they aren't beating themselves up over it? You can't be mad at someone for acting according to their nature. It's like being mad at a fig tree for having juice. So if someone's pushing your buttons, focus on fixing your reaction. Simple rules. If it feels wrong, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. And always ask yourself, why am I doing or saying this? What's the real reason? Always break down your perceptions. Ask what's behind the surface. What's the form, the substance, the purpose, and when will it end? Remember, you've got something inside you stronger than all the outside influences. When emotions bubble up, ask, what's really going on in my head right now? Always act thoughtfully, with a clear purpose and for the greater good. One day, you, everyone you know, and everything you see will be gone. It's the nature of things to change and make way for the new. Keep in mind, everything is about perspective, and that's in your control. If things get rough, shift your viewpoint, and you'll find calm waters again, like a sailor turning the corner to find a peaceful bay. Look, every experience, every moment has its time to end. And when it does, it's not bad that it ended. Just like a show, when it's over, it's over. Just because you finished watching doesn't mean it was bad. Life's kind of like that. When it's your time, it's not a bad thing. It's just how the universe rolls. Everything works in sync with the universe. So if the universe thinks it's time, then it's probably for the best. That's just how things vibe. Here's a cheat sheet for life. Whatever you do it with thought and fairness. If something happens to you, remember, it's either by chance or there's a bigger plan in play. Don't waste time blaming luck or getting mad at the universe. Think about the journey of everything, from its beginning to its end. If you suddenly got a bird's eye view of life on Earth, you'd see we're all just a blip in time. Flying high and looking down, you'll see the same thing repeatedly, a fleeting moment in the universe. Remember, our troubles often come from overthinking. Ditch that mindset and you're golden. The universe runs on its own rhythm and people will do what they'll do. Remember, every event is just another chapter in a vast story, and the bond between us all, it's not about blood. It's about shared understanding. Everything boils down to perspective. We're all
Beautiful, beautiful. I was trying to find the quote where the universe has its vibe and I'm vibing with it. Let's see.
Book 4, Finding Inner Tranquility. Our inner self has this cool trait. When aligned with our true nature, it adapts to whatever life throws at us. Think of it like a roaring fire. A small flame might get snuffed out with a little wind, but a strong fire, it uses challenges to burn brighter.
I'll find it as I go along. But yeah, that's been a piece that has really helped me throughout these times. And again, I fully realize it's common sense, but for me, hearing these words out, taking myself 2,000 years ago and thinking about this guy that had it all, literally had it all: power, fame, control. And he was writing these reminders for himself to check himself. So I'm not saying he was a saint or anything like that. I'm not. I'm saying what I believe is he was probably a flawed human, just like all of us. But it seemed like at least he was reflecting on a lot of shit. So yeah, that's Marcus Aurelius 12. The meditations. I'm sorry, 12 books on meditations. In the first book of meditations, he kind of starts off by giving shout outs. Shout out to my boy Epicurus. Shout out to my boy Antoninus. And he's giving shout outs because he's talking about the people that helped him, that helped shaped his view, the way he would view and rule the world. And so if you don't have time to listen to all 12 meditations, you can, the 8th meditation, book 8, would be a quick one to kind of recap, because he does do a lot of repeating throughout. But I've enjoyed it. I listen to it regularly, and it pumps me up. especially when I'm feeling like shit, feeling down, feeling sorry for myself. It's been something instrumental. And so I hope anyone listening today, maybe you've never heard of Marcus Aurelius, or maybe it inspired you to learn more. Maybe it'll inspire you to listen to meditations or even read the book. Like I said, I have the book, but because it's using Shakespearean English, I'm like, oh man, I can't do this shit. It's like, first of all, Marcus Aurelius existed 1,000 years before the English language even existed. And I got to read his translations in thy and thou art. Come on, man. I can't do that. I apologize, but I can't roll with that. So, that being said, I'm going to put the StreamYard. If anyone would like to call in, every now and then I get people that say, hey, Wheezy, let me know when a live stream is, and I want to call in. Tune into the shows live. I put the StreamYard in the chat quite regularly. And so let's see. I'm gonna paste StreamYard. Denver. Hey Denver, I tried messaging you, bro. If you want to hop in, bro, I would love to have you on. Pin this message. All right. StreamYard is pinned on Rumble. I'm going to put it on YouTube before ending the stream. Actually, YouTube people, go to the Rumble. Go in the description. Find my Rumble channel because I am about to end it there. Thank you, everyone on YouTube that made it. Remember, people on YouTube, it's rare that I post anything. There's too much censorship going on there. So I will end that stream now. Remove